To the Mechanic Dave Show, where on this episode we are going to be building a custom mini chopper that hopefully will run and drive, but I make no promises.
All right, a little bit of backstory on this thing. So my good friend Mandis said, Mechanic Dave, I need you to build my Tillotson. I said, okay, bud, what's your budget? He goes, I don't really give a shit. I can pay you with parts. I said, all right. So he gave me torque converter kits, a whole Hemi engine, a mess of parts, and then this. This is a Baja Warrior mini bike. It's kind of like the Trailmaster that I have, except it's a little smaller, doesn't have rear shocks. But it is missing the whole front end. The motor is a 196cc, don't even know if it runs. It's got this stupid clutch setup with really old and rusty chain, and I have a front tire for it. I got the front fender. I don't really have any other parts for this thing, so it's the perfect project to build a chopper. That's right, we're going to be spending about $868, and we're going to turn this piece of junk into one hell of a hot rod mini bike. We're going to have taller front forks, so we're going to raise the front end by 4 inches. We're going to have a smaller rear wheel, so we're going to lower that by 3 inches. So the bike's going to sit all tooted, and then we're going to paint the frame green. We're going to paint the fenders. We're going to cut the fenders so they got little angles in them. Looks pretty cool. We're going to put a headlight on it, and it is going to get painted green, and it is going to receive little green. That's right, the 208cc CMXX motor that I built is going to be going in this mini chopper. So the block is all green, so I figured the frame should be green. And we're going to get green foot pegs, we're going to get green throttle cables, we're going to get as much stuff green looking good on this thing as we can. But this little motor should go really fast. So it is November 4th? And I haven't ordered any single parts for that's a lie. I ordered the $9 cheap LED pod headlight for this thing. I'm going with cheapest parts first, down to the most expensive, which I believe is the front forks. Which I don't think. Yeah, I don't got the paperwork with me, but those are something like $200 for the full front fork, triple tree, and shocks and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna start ordering parts. I don't know when this thing's gonna be getting ready to get assembled, but right now I'm going to disassemble it and get the 196cc engine out, and gonna strip it all down so the frame can get painted. So I'll keep you updated. Don't know when this is all gonna happen. Obviously dumping almost $1,000 into a mini bike is kind of hard to justify, especially when you say, hey wifey, I'm building a chopper. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see when this gets done, but it will get done. It is now after Christmas, and we're starting to get in a bunch of parts for the bike. Just cobbled it together a little bit just to get a basic idea of what it's going to look like. We have the ape hangers on there, some Harley throttle grips. We got the headlight on there, the Apollo 250 front suspension. This neck is going to need modification to make that whole thing work, by the way. We got the new wheel and tire on there. Got some new brakes on there. The fender is just sitting in place. And I have one foot peg installed, kind of. I'm not too thrilled about the angle it's at. I am going to need a totally different brake cable. I'm going to need a whole different throttle cable. I'm going to need to run all the wires. But it's starting to take shape, and it's starting to look like a bike again. All right, got a lot mocked up on the bike right now. The front wheel, still waiting for the proper axle, so I just have the giant axle going through it right now just to hold it in place. Looks really good. Come over here to the back. I need to cut a slot from here down here somewhere and get rid of all this so the chain could go to the sprocket. the exhaust pipe. This is one of my favorite parts. Big, nice trumpet on the end of it. Nice little chopper looking thing. Very cool. Worth the $48, I think it is. Got the torque converter on there. The juggernaut is in place. The motor, because of the rake, how it's squatted, the motor would have sit really weird. And I didn't want to worry about oiling issues, so I raised the back of the motor. I don't know if you can see. I have a spacer right in there. So you can still get to the fuel cap, take it off, and possibly find a way to funnel fuel into there. It's not very fun, I will admit. And then I have the, I'm just going to leave the cap. You got the fake tank on there. That's actually kind of bolted pretty good. The fender is on. Hasn't been cut yet. I have the reflector on there. Let's see what else. The ape hangers. Oh, still need to figure something out because that's my throttle. Pretty sticky. It's because of the rubber. So I might have to grind the paint down a little bit just to give me that little bit. Over here, I actually need to wrap the tube a little bit just to prevent it from slipping and spinning like that. So here's all the electrical work on it, basically. Kill switch on and off. And then you'll have your light switch over here on and off. All it is just going to be this one pod light. I think they're from a Mid XRX Trailmaster. The pegs, they're doing pretty good. I might get away with the pin and clip and put an actual bolt in there. But it is nice being able to flip it up if you need and then slam it down. Yeah, I had to grind a lot of aluminum away to make these fit. Let's see, what else? I think that's it for right now. Still waiting for the seat to come in. And the DeWalt pack and all the brake cables, throttle cables, all that's ordered, coming in soon. So the biggest thing is just going to be modifying the neck to hold the journal of the bearings. All right, we just got our seat in today. A little low-profile Springer seat. Very chopper-like. And it's got flames on it. That automatically makes it cool. I have no idea how this goes together. There are no instructions. So I'll be figuring this out. Somehow it flips. The seat flips forward, I think. I have no idea. Okay, seat installation took 4 hours, but that's not the point. The point is it's on, seating position is comfortable, and it's actually kind of solid mounted. This is not even close to how it was intended to be. I have the springs bolted both ends. That was a bitch. The flip bracket, which is supposed to be on here, which is supposed to go through this hole that I drilled, is now on top, holding a bracket for the front of the seat. So the front has some wiggle to it. The back, when I sit on it, my fat ass compresses it almost perfectly. Seating with the pegs and the exhaust and everything actually kind of works out. That needs to get screwed down. But I ended up drilling holes in that bracket, in this stock bracket, and then bent this tab up. Yeah, this was a pain in the ass. But it's on there, and I can actually sit on it and test drive it when it comes time. Okay, so different front end on the bike. One that will actually work without having a $2,500 total custom frame. That is the front end off of my MB200 Trailmaster, the red bike. You might remember that from previous episodes. Less beef and smaller than the Apollo 250 front end, but that will never work. So we have this on it. I think I'm going to add some spacers into it and change that top plate because it's super weak. And also I might have to change up the the handlebar clamps because that's an absolute disaster. But I reworked the seat, and it sits lower and a little bit more level. And once I get the Trailmaster front axle for it, we can get the dirt bike tire mounted onto it, and it should sit pretty decently. Obviously it won't have that rake as the other one did, but it should still be pretty good. And I apologize for the absolute disaster in here. I am building 2 engines, well, technically 3, but I haven't started on the 3rd one. I'm organizing all my parts. I'm building a bike. Shit is absolutely crazy in here. That whole box is just torque converters and clutches. Yeah, it's a disaster. All right, so the bike is pretty well mocked up. I did change up a couple of things. We are not going to use our used VM22 carburetor. I think this is the wrong carb spring. I just pulled that out of my ass from somewhere. But the good news is we bought so many used parts. We just so happen to have a Nibby PE24. So we're going to throw the Nibby on instead on the 208. And then we also have this nice Pro Taper throttle. Really like that. Got all the wiring done. Headlight works. Brakes work. The cable, I ordered way too long of a cable because I'm not very good at math. So I ordered way too long of a cable, but it works. We have the chain hooked up and all that. And this thing is ready to run and drive for the very first time in God knows how long. I have to ask Amandus when the last time this frame was mobile. I did get it with bent front forks, so it was running and hit something at some point. But now it has new life. So we're going to get the Nibby thrown onto here, get some fuel into it, and we'll get it running, get it tuned. And in the next episode, you'll see this thing running and driving before paint. This thing's all going to get painted Ford Emerald Green. So, big green, everybody. Like you to meet him. That is going to do it for this episode of Mechanic Dave. Hope you liked watching the big green bike build. You'll see it next time, running and driving. And we'll hear how Little Green actually sounds. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.